or words to that effect. So yeah, we're talking about blues turnaround / blues endings today. These are all inspired by kind of players like Danny Gatton, of course, you know, the Dingus player on this guitar, huge Danny Gatton fan. You'll hear a lot of this in the playing of guys like Danny Gatton and anyone that's influenced by Danny Gatton. So guys like Greg Koch, fantastic player. I think this lick, I definitely pinched that from Greg. So yeah, very much Danny Gatton, Greg Koch, kind of, you know, blues comping ideas. So what is a blues turnaround or a blues ending? In essence, a blues turnaround or ending turns around the tune or ends a tune. It's the final section of a 12-bar blues, and we use it as a way of getting back to the start of the form again. So if you're playing a blues, I don't know, in the key of E, and you have your typical... that part at the end, classic blues turnaround, because it sounds like it's preparing you, taking you back to that one chord. So I'm not going to teach you the basics of turnarounds. I'm going to teach you 3 specific turnarounds or endings that you'll be able to use. And I'll talk about where they come from and the chord forms that I'm using to get these. So I'll do these all in the key of E, but the beauty of this as an approach is once you've learnt all of these, you should be able to play these in any key. So once we've nailed the 3, I'm going to play them all again, but then in the key of A for you. So the first turnaround will sound something like this. So that's probably the simplest of all of these turnarounds. Now, what do we have here? Well, I begin with an open E chord. Played as you would expect, open E, 2, 2, 1, and then 0 and 0. So it's just an open E chord. And then we jump up to this first inversion E. So this is an E over G sharp. So that's me playing 4 on the low E string, 2 on the D, and then 4 on the G. That contains the notes E, G sharp and B like an E major chord, but in a different order. We now have the G sharp on the bottom. So I tend to finger that actually using my second, first and third fingers, because the next chord voicing keeps that note on the with the first finger, but moves the other 2 notes down. Now you could call this lots of things. I think to me I'm probably thinking of this as being like a C7, but with a G in the bass. But it's not really the point. It's about visualizing it. So I'm seeing it as being that. You see it as whatever you want. It's a good description. You could call it a C7 over G. It's really up to you. So there's the chord voicing. We then move this entire form down again chromatically. So this, again, to me, this would be like a B7 with an F sharp in the bass. And then we end on the open E. So. Now you can spice that one up in many ways, just putting the open E in there. It's a nice way of doing that. So that works. It's a nice way of doing things. And like I say, it's probably the simplest one of the lot. So why don't we jump onto a more advanced one? I really like this one actually. This sounds like this. End it however you like, really. So what do we have here? Well, this chord. What is this chord voicing? Now to me, this is an E7 chord voicing. You want to be specific. It's an E7. It's in the first inversion. It's a drop 2 chord voicing. It's a lot of theory, and you know you're really going to want to look at my chord encyclopedia videos for those. But yeah, in essence, it's 11 on the A string, 12 on the D, 9 on the G, and then 12 on the B. So in relation to that E, that's the 3rd, the 5th, the root, and the 5th. Why have I called out a wrong note there? Sorry, that's not the 5th at all. I was looking at the wrong note. 7th, 3rd, flat 7, root, and 5th. So that's your basic chord voicing, is your E7. Okay, then what happens is this first finger stays on the E note and the other 3 notes move down. So that first finger stayed where it was, but these 3 notes move down 1 fret. Now we could name this chord, you could look at this and call this a G diminished 7. That's what we've got there, G, C sharp, E, and A sharp. Or G, D flat, E, and B flat, if you want to think of it in terms of flats. 10, 11, 9, 11. And then the exact same thing happens. The E stays where it is, and these 3 notes move down. Now obviously I'm not going to finger it like that, I will re-finger this and you get this. So now you could look at that and call that an F sharp minor 7 flat 5. 9, 10, 9, 10. It's the chord that we're playing. Now where you go from there is really up to you. There's your basic turnaround. We just need to then end on an E chord because that's our home, right? And that B7 if you like to really turn the tune around. So that's one voicing that you can play. That's totally acceptable. That's me barring on the 9th fret of the A and D strings, playing the open E, and hammering onto the 11th fret on the A string. It's nice, gives you an E. Of course you could play, anything, an E9 or E7 even if you wanted. That will work. Still gives you that sound. And again, if we put it in the context of playing a blues, totally sounds like a blues ending. Okay, now the final one sounds like this. Now I really like this one because a lot of blues turnarounds have this descending theme. You have the notes and if everything is kind of moving down. This one climbs up. It's a really nice voicing. So what am I playing here? Well, the first chord is this. This is a voicing for an E9 chord, so that's 12 on the D, all on the top 4 strings. So 12, 11, 9, and 12. Okay, and then what happens is the 9th fret on the B string moves up a semitone to the 10th fret, and the lowest note, the 12th fret on the D string, moves down a semitone. So you have these 3 notes being played, 11 on the D, 10 on the B, and 12 on the high E. Now, if you really look at this, technically this is an A major triad in an open voice. Playing that type of thing. All A major triads. So after playing that, again, your top finger stays on this high E, but we change the chord voicing. So the note on the B string is moving up from 10 to 11, and what we're playing here is an E diminished chord. 11, 12, 11, 12. This is our tension, pulling us back to our E7 chord. So again, you could end it there if you wanted. The voice leading isn't great when you do that. I'm going to end with, which is again drop 2 voicing. It's in 3rd inversion with the 7th in the bass, but really I'm just thinking E7. So that's 12 on the D, 13, 12 and 12. Or, any old E7 will work. Does the same basic thing. So that will work. Now let me do each one of those voicings just quickly for you in the key of A. You should be able to work these out for yourself depending on your visualization system. The first chord progression, I see this as being a caged thing. It fits around my open E form. So if I play this in A, I would have... Whoops, sorry, let's play that again. I guess you could mess around with this and try and get that static A on the top. Not done that before, that's kind of nice. That works. So that's that one in A. Again, when we played this in the key of E, I can see this chord voicing and see that the E root note is played with my first finger. So if I wanted to do that, this comes out of the G form of the cage system. So I would play that voicing down here. So I've moved that, so my first finger is now playing an A, and we would have... It's going to work. Functions absolutely fine. So there's that voicing played in the key of A. And then finally, this was in E. Sounds great. In order to move that to the key of A, I look at this voicing in E. Again, it's at the G shape of the cage system. I see that my little finger is playing the root note E. So I just need to do that same thing, but on A. And that again is going to work, so that all three of those voicings played in A. And there you go, that's each one of those played in the key of A. There's a lot to work on there, and of course this isn't child's play, so take your time with it, be careful, and if you have any questions, do hit me up in the comments section below. So lastly, I should just throw a huge thanks to my patrons over on patreon.com. These guys all support me at various tiers. Great way to support this channel. It enables me to keep making videos, so a huge thank you to you guys. Yeah, you guys rock. I'm big fans of you people. I should also actually throw a huge official thank you to the guys over at VPix. See this lovely VPic? This isn't like a forced plug. If you go back and watch any one of my videos, you'll see that I'm always using one of these picks. For the last 8 or 9 years, I've always used the VPix medium pointed. It is my pick of choice. Absolutely love it. And yeah, the guys over at VPix are now officially sponsoring this channel. So that is, a huge step for this channel. And I'm massively appreciative to Vinny and the guys at VPix. So yeah, if you want to support this channel, another way to do that is to head on over to VPix and check out their picks. Like I say, big fan of the medium pointed. Yeah, so please do that. It is awesome of those guys, and be awesome of you to check them out too. Ultimately, you're going to find a pick you like, hopefully. So yeah, you can check me out on Patreon by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking this little button down here, and you will find 2 more of my videos here and here. Thank you so much for all of the support, guys. As always, any questions, anything like that, please do drop it in the comments box below. I'm always here, I'm always watching, and I'm always happy to respond and help you if you need it. Much love, and I'll see you for another video soon. Bye.